Hello, hello. Hey there, hi there. Welcome to DJs and Drinks with Indie Pride. I'm your host, Okara Imani. I want to take a minute before we get into it to speak on our sponsors and thank them. That would be 1800, Bacardi, Tito's Handmade Vodka, and Bud Light Seltzer. To get us started on our virtual cocktail hour, I will be having a little bit of a chat with Indie Pride's Executive Director, Chris Hanberg. And whenever he's ready, we'll get into it.
Mm-hmm. Hey, how's it going?
Oh, hi. How are you?
Good. I'm broadcasting live from the boys' room in my house. So,
oh, isn't that cute?
you might hear some shouts downstairs and some cries, but that's pretty normal for this hour. So,
fair enough.
Nice to see you.
Wonderful to see you as well. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you. How are you holding up during the pandemic?
I'm doing well. I won't say I'm fully productive at all times, but I'm doing my best to forgive myself for that as well.
I am right there with you. I mean, my productivity level is like, but we're still making it. So still excited for stuff and still excited for, celebrating our community in June.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Speaking of which, how has the planning been going for this year's Pride?
It's been going really well. We obviously were not planning for this. I don't think anybody was. But our volunteer team and staff have really adjusted to switching over to virtual. We're really excited. On June 13th, we just launched our Pet Pride program presented by Elanco. So Pet Pride is the most adorable event, right?
I can't stand it. Tell me more.
So people would, in the days before the virus, would come to the park, dress their pets up in rainbow gear and pride stuff. Mm-hmm. We'd have a lot of vendors there. Well, obviously, we don't want to do that because it's just not safe, Mm-hmm. So what we want you to do is take a picture of your pet in some sort of pride outfit, pride gear, looking the most adorable possible. And then go to our social media page where there's a link, and there might even be a link that shows up in this chat, if Tiffany or Tabitha would do that, where you click on and look, there it is. There's another link where you can upload a picture of your pet, and then we have a contest running where there'll be 3 different categories, and your pet could win one of them, and you might just have a special surprise in your mailbox that shows up. Right? Like it's all happening at Pet Pride this year.
All right.
So that's going to happen on Saturday the 13th, right before our DJs and Drinks program. So we're super excited about it. Like, who doesn't love showing off their pets and then looking at adorable pictures of pets?
Of course. I mean, who would turn it down?
I don't. So
obviously, that's hugely adorable and enticing. Is that... You'll say that's maybe your favorite event coming up for this season's Pride, but what would be right behind it?
Well, right behind it, we have a couple of different fun surprises for virtual Pride Festival on June 20th. And we're putting together a bunch of the local drag queens to do celebrity impersonations in a game show style that has absolutely nothing to do with RuPaul's Drag Race Snatch Game, though it might have some similarities.
Okay. Noted.
Copyright infringement is a real thing. So it would be something similar. We're still developing what the clever quippy name is. But our own Cassidy Fellow Summers has agreed to participate and host. Patio Weave just stopped by today with some delicious red velvet cake in jars. And I'm not kidding. They're so good. And agreed to be part of it. And also Patio Weave will be hosting Virtual Pride. And I believe Hallie Pino knows that she's still hosting, but I'm not sure. So, so those are some things I'm looking forward to. Awesome. We're working with the city to work out some other visible displays of Pride. And then this week, watch our social media, because there's going to be a chance for you as an individual living in your home, apartment, bedroom, whatever it is, to show your pride to the city and to the state. So
wonderful. I love that. I love that. It seems like the adjustments, I know it's got to be tons of work, but I can see the adjustments rolling out and everyone else is just falling in line to what you've laid out with the events and the Facebook pages and like keeping everybody on board and in the know. I love it.
Absolutely. And really the biggest thanks of all goes to our two of our staffers, Tabitha Barber and Tiffany Hansen, who have just worked tirelessly and sometimes frustratedly because things change so quickly, and learning new systems and learning how to navigate. They've been rock stars. And so really thanks to them, thanks to Jack Shepler, our entertainment director, Robert Patrick, our festival director, who have made the adjustments, our whole board. So I can't say enough good things about those folks.
Stupendous. Round of applause for them.
Right? Round of applause.
Speaking of a super corny round of applause, I heard through the grapevine of Indie Pride that you are big into dad jokes. I personally very much dig and support this. What do you got? What are the dad jokes on your mind these days?
Well, I mean, I was going to tell a dad joke about pizza, but it's a little cheesy.
It was immediate and I knew it was coming, but I still wasn't ready.
This afternoon, I was reading a book about, quantum physics and gravity, and I just can't put it down. Yeah.
I still want to go. I'm gonna leave, even though I support you. I'm just gonna leave. I have to leave on that.
And before I go, I got yelled at. I got to do a shout out to the kids because I think they're watching downstairs. So, hey kids!
Hey, what's up?
They watch a YouTuber called Ryan's Toy Review, and so they very much think that I'm with Ryan now because they're watching it on the iPad.
So you're important now.
I am. For just like 2 minutes, and then it's done. So, but thank you so much for hosting tonight. Really appreciate you, and I can't wait to see you around. Okay?
Absolutely. Same here. Have a great night. Thanks so much.
You do the same. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Well, now that we are thoroughly cheesed up, I think it's about time for us to roll in Rick. Rick is our volunteer director for BiPAN Pride. And whenever he's ready, we'll welcome him in.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, hey there.
Hey.
I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm doing well. Even better now that I'm on here.
That's what we like to hear. On my personal private talk show that I'm enjoying right now.
Hey, this is my favorite so far.
Okay, see, now everyone knows. You weren't supposed to tell everyone. So, Rick, tell us a little bit about yourself. Just a little something.
Alrighty. Well, I am a bisexual man. My pronouns are he, him, his. I say I've been working for Indie Pride, kind of volunteering with Indie Pride for about 3 years now. We just became the BiPAN Pride event director last year. Last year was our first year, so
oh my gosh,
been living the dream.
Love it. Wonderful. Well, I think, can you tell us a little bit about, I mean, what does that mean? You're volunteer director for BiPAN Pride. That's kind of epic. You're volunteering your time to BiPAN visibility. That's amazing. How does that feel?
Yeah, I say I love it. Honestly, it's one of the greatest feelings, I think. Just being able to help my community, just be out there and be seen and be heard is one of the greatest things I've ever done. So
we're so glad and proud to have you, grateful to have you. That's amazing that you did that. Way to step up. Just saying. So Rick, as the volunteer director of BiPAN Pride, what is BiPan Pride in the whole scheme of Indie Pride, and how did it become a regular season event?
All right. So BiPan Pride kind of came about. Like I said, I started about 3 years ago volunteering with Indie Pride. My first year there, I personally kind of felt like we did, BiPan or bisexuals and pansexuals didn't really have a ton of representation at Indie Pride. There's always some, but I thought that there could always be more. So I went to the the planning committee for Indie Pride and kind of asked them, hey, is there anything we can do, to get our community more involved with Indie Pride, get some of these people out there that if they're like me, don't really feel like they quite fit in exactly. Is there anything we could do to kind of, get them spurred, get them excited for Indie Pride, just like everybody else. And we kind of came up with the idea to, start BiPan Pride Night, which is an event. Last year we held it at Metro. If everything hadn't have gone down, we would have been back at Metro this year. But hey, we're kind of rolling with the punches. But so BiPan Pride Night is kind of it was a celebration idea to kind of boost our visibility, not, amongst the LGBTQ plus community, but also kind of in general, give bisexuals and pansexuals a way to, kind of meet other people that are also bisexual and pansexual that they may not have known, and kind of bring visibility to that community that wasn't there before.
Exactly. Awesome.
So
yeah, I personally am super glad to see that that intentional space making for a group in our tribe that sometimes gets overlooked or kind of feels mashed in between things. So I'm super, super glad that you are heading up that work and that it's happening and rolling. That's amazing. Thank you. So let me think. Speaking of that sort of oftentimes erasure, sometimes lack of knowledge or understanding, what does it mean to you to be bisexual?
So to me, being bisexual, I kind of view it more as just kind of a label. But to me, being bisexual means that I can be my true self without having to fear being told that I can't be what I feel inside is truly me. It means that I am able to find my own family, my own friends, everybody who's going to accept me as is. I can love who I want. I can be who I want without fear of, being put down and told that that's not right. I'm not allowed to do that. So, and I think that, that's the way a lot of people feel it. Their sexuality doesn't really define them, but it's a huge part of them. So to me, being bisexual just means that I get the choice of who I get to love and who I get to let into my life. So.
Absolutely. You do. You choose. You choose, Rick. I can absolutely identify with that. I began my journey in queerdom feeling like bisexual was something that I identified with. And then as I moved on through the world and met people and learned things and saw more, it became more like, well, I think I might be more suitably identified as pansexual, simply because I think my attraction and my romantic devotion and intentions are only encapsulated in the person and not limited by their identifiers or mine or what they might look or how physically their bodies are set up or any of that. And so that's when I kind of realized like that choice, I do actually have more choices because I I'm capable of loving all these people. So I do actually have what you're saying is choice. And every day I choose to hold on to that identifier as my freedom, because within that choice are all the choices, you know, for me. And I wondered if you, akin to pansexual experiences, like feel yourself sort of explaining that you're a thing, like that your experience is one not of confusion but of choice. Do you feel that?
I do. And honestly, erasure is a huge thing in our community. It's a hard thing to talk about because nobody wants to, approach the subject really, but it is. Say I've found myself before being told, by people I was, that I thought that could possibly have feelings for, that they can't be around me because what I tell them I feel isn't true, that I can't like, who I like, that I have to choose one side or the other.
Yeah.
So I know exactly where you're coming from on that. Say, I feel like I'm lucky in the fact that I found somebody who doesn't have that anymore, doesn't have those types of feelings. But there are still a lot of people out there who get that every single day. And, I think a lot of it might, it could be a little bit of not quite understanding. It could be a lot of not, it could also be not wanting to understand, which, is their choice if they don't want to accept, the amazing people that, that we are into their lives. But, so like, I know exactly where you're coming from and it, I think that as a community, we have to just kind of rally around each other and overcome that.
Yeah. There's this thing that some folks say, hurt people, which is true. And in that case where people feel like maybe they shouldn't date or pursue the folks like us that are pansexual, bisexual, because, we have so many options. And they have experiences that are valid, hurt folks end up hurting other folks. But also, like, when people don't have the knowledge to maneuver, you start bumping into things. And sometimes people find themselves bumping into us and not really knowing what to do with us. And sometimes that happens in our community. And those bumps hurt. So what can our community members and our allies even do to celebrate BIPAN's visibility, presence, experience?
I honestly think the first thing we can do is just try to help people understand, become a little more knowledgeable. Obviously, to fight a battle like that, you have to know what you're up against and know how to, explain things to people. I know a lot of people don't quite understand the difference between, bisexual and pansexual. And obviously I can give you the exact detailed descriptions of them, but it all comes down to how you feel inside, really. Because traditionally bisexuals, like two genders, men and women, whereas pansexuals like all genders. And I feel like that's kind of morphing. So like, I feel like it's our job, not only in the community, but also as allies, to kind of, illuminate people to, things are changing. It's not quite that simple anymore. But also to, try to show ourselves whenever, when we can, where it's, not trying to, flaunt our sexuality to everybody quite, but, make it so. And I'm guilty of this too. You come across somebody, sometimes it's easier to just, tell them, I'm gay, I'm part of the LGBTQ community, rather than actually expressing yourself, telling them, who you really are. So I know that I'm guilty of that before. It's something that I try to work on every day. Instead of, just trying to hide it, explain it. They're not,
truth.
People aren't going to learn, and you're going to, you just need to try to speak your truth every day.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely. I definitely think that finding ways to eliminate assumptions for our allies and our fellow community members. I think eliminating assumptions or presumptions. When you see folks with certain people, just don't assume you know what's going on. And when it comes up, and the truth is explained or revealed to you, just roll with that, accept it and acknowledge it. And then that's really how you fortify my visibility, is just by going, oh,
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
Super simple, I
Yeah.
feel. That's one step. That's one
Oh,
super
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I know that's super tough to talk about sometimes. So thank you so much, Rick, for getting into that with us. Now that we've spilled just a little bit of tea, I'm gonna hold you there while we get into our cocktail demo. And
Ooh.
I'm stoked. Okay, so I've got my 1800 silver here. It's got 100% agave, all that good stuff you want in tequila.
Absolutely necessary.
Oh yeah. And so my first drink is actually something that I don't make as often at home myself, but it's absolutely my flavor palette, and I support this message. So I've got the tequila, of course, and I've got some lime juice. And I found triple sec at the grocer's, which is kind of amazing. Triple sec is an ingredient for one drink and a substitute for another, but we'll talk about that. And then I've got my soda water and pineapple juice. So, are you ready, Chris? Do you have, Rick, your ingredients with you? Are you on deck?
I did. I said, you showed me how to make it earlier, so I already made it. But I mean, I can tell you guys that it's delicious, and if you're watching from home, you should definitely make it with her.
So this first one, I'm gonna do a makeshift shaker here, so don't look too closely. But I'm going to put my ice cubes into this doohickey here. This is going to be shaken with its ingredients so you can keep it chilled. It's kind of like that James Bond situation. And I personally don't do exact measurements, so shame on me. But I can tell you that what I have here on the table today, 1800 is my only true liquor. So that means my full 4 ounces of alcohol is coming straight from here. So I think this one is more of a juicy one. So this is actually just going to be what I'm going to call glug glugs. It's just going to be 2 or 3 glug glugs based on your safe space and environment and how you feel. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, a little glug glug there. And then primarily we've got our pineapple juice. So the exact measurements per the recipe that I researched and cross-referenced and all of that important stuff that you can rest assured I did is about 3 ounces of pineapple juice. So, yeah. So we added that to our glug glugs. All right. And we also have just a little bit of triple sec. So it says about half an ounce of triple sec. This comes out in like a little fountain. Whew. That's a pretty consistent flow. I have an official bottle. Okay. And then what we can safely call splashes of lime juice. Okay. Floop, floop.
I agree with you there, Craig. Definitely more glugs are necessary.
More glugs. I identify with more glugs. You can kind of smell it and see how far into the glugs you are, truly. But I've got like this shaky situation going on. No one tell 007 anything that's going on today, but we're going to call this shaken. All right.
I'm saying, while you're shaking that over there, so what can the folks at home use to make this drink if they don't quite have all the ingredients we're using today?
If you don't quite have the ingredients, I would say, for one, you could either have a silver tequila or you might have a darker 1800 on hand. So I would say if you've got apple juice in the house, You can make that your primary fruit. If you've got orange juice in the house, of course, always you can toss that in with some tequila. And if you've got a little bit of lime juice on hand, maybe you use it for cooking or something like that, just splash that in and you'll be elevating your tequila experience. Okay. This one is already pretty simple. If you've got juices in the house on a regular basis, you're totally fine. And then I found these in the liquor aisle as well. So that's how we'll top that. Cheers, Rick, for the first drink.
Cheers.
Yeah, that's nice.
Delicious.
I definitely dig that. This transported me to where I needed to be for the past month and a half. Wonderful.
Right.
So the next drink, I actually already have made up. This is what I've been sipping throughout our interviews. That one is actually my own kind of made up blend. It's based on sort of your traditional classic margarita. All right. So I've got my 1800, which I tend to, let's say if it had a spout on it, it'd be about 3 or 4 counts. So this would be about 5 glugs for me. I'm not going to advise you 5 glugs, but that's what I would do, Rick. You hear what I said there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got it.
That goes into your ice glass. We're not going to shake or stir this one very much at all. But your primary is your tequila. If you have it, if you're the kind of person that has a personal bar that you upkeep, Grand Marnier, okay, is what you would add to this as sort of your liqueur, your complementary liquor, and a lot of flavor. We're substituting, because my income has been adjusted. We're using the triple sec again to give us that orange flavor that really complements the lime and the tequila. So I poured a little bit of this in. I would say I poured consistently for about 2 or 3 counts because it actually has a spout on it. But you are always, taking a whiff or taking a sip and tasting where your balance is. Keeping in mind, if you do use Grand Marnier or an actual liqueur, that is adding alcohol to your mix. So with all of these tips I'm giving you, make sure you give me some tips back because I want to keep you a little toasty, but safe. Okay. So once we've got our tequila and our triple sec / Grand Marnier, wherever you are, then we can add up the rest of the glass because you're working with a full glass of ice. You're going to fill the rest with soda. Doesn't have any flavor, just adds you a little zhuzh and fills up the palate a little bit. And then, of course, you splash with lime juice, okay? And basically, once you do that, you're done, Rick. And I think that might be what you're sipping on.
Oh, yeah, I have them both. I mean, I've been
sipping
on
them.
You're
so ready.
Both. So
you were the goodest boy. Wonderful.
They're both delicious. I just keep going back and forth. So
because you have choices. You've got choices.
I do. I have plenty of choices.
So,
and of course, don't forget to tip your bartenders, and can't forget the DJs either.
Oh my gosh. Y'all are not ready. Y'all are not ready. See, I'm just warming you up. I'm warming you up with our bevs. And then you're going to sweat it out with DJ Gabby. So you definitely have to toss in the coin into her bag because it must be secured. All right. We're partying and securing eggs. I would love to hear the things that you all like to drink. So when you're in this chat, just spout off all the things you like to drink. Where do you put your 1800 tequila? What do you mix it with? When are you having it? How does it make you feel? All that good stuff. We're going to be taking this in, and it will probably inform what cocktails we bring to you next time. So definitely share your piece. So once again, we're here with Rick. Rick, would you pronounce your last name for us so I don't get it wrong, because I've never spoken it out loud before?
Hey, the easiest way I always tell people, just take the sound of a cat and add a th to the end. So my last name is Pertha.
Oh my gosh. Rick Pertha, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us for not only our virtual cocktail hour, but our cocktail demo. Cheers.
Cheers.
And we really hope that you get down and giddy up with DJ Gabby for our virtual dance party. That will be at indiepride.org/live. And we are absolutely going to get that going. That's going to be a good hour. So get your water, make your space. Rick, are you ready for that get down?
Oh, I'm ready. I have a ton of space here. I am ready to dance.
Somebody put away the pretty flower. We've got to protect it while well, I'm so excited. Thank you so much for taking the time. Thank you so much for the work you're doing. And thank you for being you. Yeah.
Thank you for having me on here. And thanks for hosting tonight. And I just want to tell people, just remember to be yourself, live your true life. I say that's all we can ask for. All righty.
Thank you so much.
Night.
Have a great night. Have fun.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye.